and nobody knows who the hell they are, Cheryl. These aren't the interpreters that we taught. These were people that rushed into the planes, and they were so interested in trying to make it sound like, oh, they're doing a good job. These people, many of these people are going to be terrorists, okay? They're going to be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft.
They say they're vetting them very carefully with biometrics and documentation.
They're not doing that, and you can't, because there is no documentation in that gun now, and nobody knows who the hell.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. You know, and even if what she said is true, like, oh, they're vetting these people with biometrics and we have backgrounds, like, just because we allow these people to come over here doesn't mean they're going to integrate well at all. This guy's living proof of that. This guy that killed two of our National Guard soldiers. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess one airman, one air guardman, and
both guard, but you know, it's guard. You can still say guardsman, but you know, one's technically an airman. But yeah,
that it's disgusting. You know, I actually have a thing pulled up here on my phone. Let me read it really quick. So, the DC shooter was revealed to be part of a well-trained special force Afghanistan that focused on night raids and targeted assassinations. You know, this guy's name, Rahmanuel Lakwanlal, you know, like something 9/11-y. 29 was a highly trained veteran of the Kandahar Strike Force, a covert paramilitary unit described as one of the most lethal and secretive forces in the Afghan war, fighting alongside U.S. Special Forces in Kandahar for over a decade. That doesn't mean he did. It just means he was a part of this force. Now, he could have been an admin in the force. You know, he could have been like a guy who pushed papers. I don't know for sure. I'm just reading what has been put out. These units received special training from CIA and U.S. Special Forces in close quarters combat, helicopter assault, and intelligence-driven operations. He was mid-level. He was like an E5 equivalent. Member of the Kandahar Strike Force. These were among the most capable Afghan forces trained and equipped by the CIA for direct raids. He reportedly led a special forces unit in southern Afghanistan. He was on the fast track into the country by the Biden administration during the disastrous Afghan withdrawal. So he's one of the guys that got to come through the special program. And again, it just goes to show you that Islam and these people from the third world, just because you assisted people and you were useful in your country to American forces doesn't mean you're going to come here and be useful to Americans here. It's like, imagine being like, I'm a soldier who's helping another military soldiers on raids and translating for them and doing things for them. Then you get here and it's like, what are you qualified to do? Well, you can be a McDonald's worker.
Yeah, well, here's the issue: why do you think that retired veterans, are all like most likely homeless and jobless? It's because military skills don't always translate over into the civilian population.
Yeah, I mean that's why you have these guys become fitness influencers, or and again that's 1% of the 1%. So there's not a lot of transferable skills, unless you're one of the guys that's a mechanic, or maybe you open a gun shop or something like that. And some of these guys don't have the smarts, or again, these are our people. These are Americans who don't have the smarts and capital to start up a business or do that. Like, they're just going to be working at a store or being a shelf stalker. Now, maybe they can work their way up, but that's what this guy is. This guy came over here going, now I'm going to come to America and I'm going to have a great life. It's like he gets here, it's like, imagine working at McDonald's for a couple of years and you're like, this blows. And you know whose fault it is? It's this country and this culture's fault. Mm-hmm. I was somebody back home. Now you're nobody here. And that's what these people don't get. Like, everybody, all these immigrants that come here are promised this American dream. But the problem with the American dream is you got to work your butt off for it. And these people, they were already established in the countries. Again, immigration is no guarantee of integration. So just start pulling up and showing off all these other videos we got. Again, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they all called this a long time ago, just like we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anybody with half a brain could call this. But like I said, only like what we talk about, people who willfully ignore the truth are blind to this stuff. Mm-hmm. And while we're just doing that, I just realized that the door is open. Would you go shut that real quick
Absolutely.
while I play one of these videos? I'm going to start with the one that you have, the Trump calling the reporter stupid.
So why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let them in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in.
Just reported this year that
Yeah, boom. And again, because of the incompetency and this retarded idea that Democrats have, that again, they have this thought in their head: the minute these immigrants come here, they're going to become Americans and become like economics just solves everything. They get jobs, they're going to ditch that silly religion, and they're going to become American citizens overnight. They're going to love hot dogs. They're going to love going to Fenway Park and hanging out. Like, that's not how it works.
I always like how you say they're going to love hot dogs and they're Muslims.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, you get it, though. That's like this retarded
Hot dogs are
philosophy
an
that they
American
have.
pastime. Hot dogs are an American pastime.
So
yeah.
it bothers me. And again, two of our guardsmen, two of our brothers in arms, brother and sister in arms, have lost their lives. Or again, one's lost their life as of now. The other one's still fighting.
The guy is still in the hospital fighting for his life right now, but it's not looking good.
Yeah, the young girl, the young soldier passed away, and you were telling me a story of like I guess a major stabbed the guy with a pocket knife.
I think I have that story pulled up, so I will bring that.
Yeah,
up
here in a minute.
bit,
But no, go ahead and pull up the other one of J.D. Vance saying the exact same thing, echoing what Trump just said.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely. Let me make sure it's rewound. Yeah, and play. Where's my volume? Oh, I hate that.
When you talked to us in August, you said, I don't think we should abandon anybody who's been properly vetted and helped us. Do you stand by that?
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals
But there are
have been properly
30,000
vetted.
people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary
Do you stand
concern
by it?
as your vice president,
30,000.
Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that
So
we
no.
know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people
it's
are
not
vetted.
good.
These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really
But-
care, Margaret. I don't
Excuses,
want that person
excuses.
in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
We'll be
Pause.
back in 1 minute with more of our...
And again, what pisses me off is like even the previous video, the one we opened with, where she was like going, "We're using biometrics." What does biometrics matter in the third world? Like, just because you take a picture, like I mean, literally, like I go to the airport and they like have the little things that look at your face and verify your card matches up. That doesn't matter especially if they're coming from the third world. They don't have biometrics in the third world.
Here's the problem: like by that logic, biometrics means that you know how easily we get by biometrics. Every 18 to 20-year-old that buys a fake ID can get past biometrics. Like, I'm 21. Like, sure you are. It's like,
It's
Jesus,
so-
it's so stupid.
It's so dumb. And again, especially these chicks on these shows, like they're properly vetted. It's like, how do you know what process? I mean, have you sat down with the people that vet these people? And again, these are temporary vetters, like the people who are in Afghanistan, like allowing these people to come here. Like that's a temporary station. Like you're telling me these people got properly trained to vet people in a crisis situation. Like you're good. You know what I mean? It's not a proper vetting process. It's we let in a certain number of people and then we just say, all right, we're out of here.
Yep.
We hit our 30,000 number mark. We got to go. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Again, that's what pisses me off. Like they're acting like they've done the research to be like, we understand the vetting process. They probably understand the vetting process for people how to become naturalized citizens of the U.S., but that doesn't mean that they understand the vetting process for temporary refugee status. They probably don't know that.
Correct.
They probably read a document that said this is what it's supposed to look like, but that doesn't mean that's how it's done.
Yep. So let's check this out. I have this article pulled up here. D.C. National Guard shooting suspect ID'd as Afghan national who worked with the CIA. Here's what we know. An Afghan named Ramal Ralawaki has been identified as a suspect shooter in the ambush attack that killed National Guards member wounded just blocks away from the White House on Wednesday. The Department of Homeland Security said the CIA Thursday that Anawaki or whatever, something 9/11ish, previously worked with the U.S. government, including the CIA, as a member of the partner force in Kandahar that ended in 2021 following the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. That the suspect was shot by another Guards member and taken into custody, and he was hospitalized. No other suspects have been identified in connections with the shooting. U.S. Attorney Janine Perillo said that the Thursday that the suspect will be charged with 3 counts of assault with intent to kill while armed. No kidding. And while he also has been charged with possession of a firearm during the crime of violence, the charges could be changed pending on the condition of the Guards members. Here's what we know about the suspect so far. The story will be updated as we gain information. Anawaki entered the United States in 2021. Multiple enforcement sources told CBS on Wednesday that Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said that on X, the suspect was paroled into the U.S. on September 8th, 2021, under the Biden-era program for Afghan nationals called Operation Allies Welcome Home. And just goes to show you, with allies like this, who needs enemies?
Yep.
So which goes to show you, allies are not your friends. Allies are somebody that are just there to assist you as long as you're assisting them. The moment that stops, they stop being your ally.
Again, this guy got here. He was a soldier in his own country, had a bona fides, had a what do you call it? He had a place in society, and he had status. He got here. Guess what? All that's gone. Like, none of the people he worked with are going to come over there and be like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 Awawaki. Like, he's not going to see any of them. That's the way it is in the military. The minute you're out of the military, you hardly ever see your military buddies ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So, this guy gets here. It's like, what are your skills? What can you do? I was a soldier. Well, okay, well, I mean, you could work as a security guard at the mall. You could work at McDonald's. You could work as a shelf stalker at the Walmart. Mm-hmm. But I want a good job. That I was CIA. I worked because but you're a foreign national. CIA doesn't want to work with you anymore in America.
Yep.
You have no value here.
Yeah.
Again, this guy probably worked here and was doing this job for 2 years and got bored and was like, this is bullcrap. This is not the dream I was sold when I got to come over here. Mm-hmm. And again, as a Muslim dude, it's like women should not be telling me what to do. I should be able to do whatever I want in this country. Mm. I helped. Again, this is what happens. I mean, again, regular soldiers feel this way when they get out. You don't think a foreign national that barely has a grasp of the language and doesn't know any of our cultural norms and doesn't have a capital or any way to probably start his own business or, all he's qualified to do is just work at McDonald's. That sucks. Yeah. And you, Democrats, put him here. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, this is great. Immigration's great.
And this is what they don't realize is this is the big lie that's sold to, immigrants, all immigrants. Is like, you're going to come here and the American dream's going to work for you. Is like they don't tell you is that if you don't have a firm grasp on the language and you don't have a large skill set, the only thing you're doing is basic like factory or McDonald's fast food work. And then your kids may be fortunate enough to start up a company or a business because they have a full grasp of the culture and the language because they grew up in it.
Yeah, again, they just think that we're all autonomous drones that can do whatever. We can shift seamlessly between cultures. They're like, this guy will come over here, he will get a job, he'll go home and watch TV. Maybe if he's lucky, he'll get a wife. If not, he'll just watch porn all day after that and just whatever. We're all just drones, programmable drones that we can do. Everything will just work out fine. People need more than just, again, this is why the graph go up mean good, doesn't work. It's like we're not just an economic force, Yep. Like this guy wanted something more out of life when he got here, and then he lived here for 2 years and was like, this isn't working out, so I'm going to take it out on the country that brought me over here.
Yep.
And one of our sisters in arms suffered the ultimate price for it, too. So, thank you, Biden administration.
Yep.
Thank you, toxic empathy, for bringing these people over here.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's like, the Christians, I said, you can argue this. Like I said, maybe this is a reaction to the Christian protests in Dearborn. And
Yeah.
you could say, hey, what were the Christians protesting? The Christians are protesting that Islam is not compatible with the West because they're violent and they don't adapt to our cultural norms. So what does this guy do? He goes and proves their point.
Exactly. And again, like, not all. It's like, it doesn't matter. Again, like what you said earlier, with friends like this, who needs enemies?
Yeah. Yep. And we'll continue on. Trump described him as a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. The video message late Wednesday, he said that the suspect's status was extended under the legislation signed by the President Biden. A Department of Homeland Security told CBS News that the suspect was paroled in the U.S. on humanitarian grounds back in 2021. That's main legal mechanism that the Biden administration used to welcome tens of thousands of Afghan evacuees after the Taliban takeover in 2021. Yeah, it's funny that we were taking in all these poor allies, and, these translators and interpreters and all that, but we left Americans there when we pulled out.
Yep.
Funny, Biden.
What's even crazier, too, is the left is going to do the retarded toxic empathy thing where they self-reflect and look inward. Look, somehow we caused this. Somehow this is our fault, If only there were more mosques in his local area, this probably wouldn't have happened because he would have felt more at home. It's like, you're not at home anymore. You came to America. Be American,
Yeah.
So again, they will look inward. Again, the toxic empathy of this, like they're going to look inward. This is somehow our fault. It's our fault we brought him here. We promised. It's our fault we promised him the American dream. When again, it's like what the left says, the American dream's not real. You can't have that. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know what? You guys stole it from a National Guard soldier. One of our sisters in arms lost her American dream. You couldn't even finish serving your country because you guys brought this guy over here because his dreams are more important than her dreams.
Yeah, no kidding. You're selling the American dream from Americans to foreigners is basically what the crap immigration policies are doing.
The logic, too. If the American dream is dead over here for Americans, why are you bringing over people here
to fulfill the American dream
that doesn't exist anymore, allegedly?
Mm-hmm. Which means that you're just breaking more people's hearts.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Many Afghan nationals are admitted to the U.S. back to 2021 via special immigration visas offered to those who worked alongside military duties in the 20-year war, while others were given temporary humanitarian status known as parole. More than 8,000 people from Afghanistan were granted deportation relief under separation programs called temporary protected status, which Biden extended in 2023. But Mr. Trump chose to end early this year. Yeah, no kidding. I wonder why he would do that. Mm-hmm. Suspects worked with the U.S. forces and CIA in Afghanistan. The CIA confirmed that Thursday that the suspect worked with the U.S. government, including CIA, during the war in Afghanistan. CBS News has also learned that the suspect led a team of foreign Afghan National Armed Forces that worked directly with the U.S. and British forces. According to the former Afghan commander who spoke with CBS News on Thursday, Lawal led the unit of Afghan special forces in south of the country and worked closely with international troops. The former commando told the CBS News that Lawal was left deeply troubled by the death of a close friend and fellow Afghan commander in 2024, whom he had unsuccessfully sought asylum in the U.S. So there's probably this is why I'm angry and taking it out on soldiers that have nothing to do
America
with
should
this.
let everyone I want come to this country.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's America's fault, again.
Yeah. Multiple law enforcement sources told CBS News on Thursday that the running theory investigators have that the suspect suffered. Oh, what just happened? I hate when it jumps. This is why I hate ads. Suffered from paranoia and mental health challenges that indicated that he had believed authorities sought to deport him from the U.S.
Oh, so now it's Trump's fault.
Mm-hmm. So, and more than likely, if he's posting anti-America, pro-Islamic stuff, you should be afraid. I mean, good Lord. I mean, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull them up real quick. Where did it go? There it is. Remember these kids? This is why. Why are we importing
If
this?
America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq? We won't get a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time, who would you defend first? We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you wouldn't defend America?
We would not defend America.
But you're American.
But at the same time, listen. At the same time, America is our country because we were born here. But in our Islamic book, we're not allowed to fight with people that are against our religion. So we just take up the jail time.
So you would
That's
not.
what we do.
So you would not defend America.
I would go to jail instead of fighting for America.
And who would you defend if we were to go to war?
Yeah, again, he's emulating Muhammad Hijab. Like, he obviously follows Muhammad Hijab on YouTube, so that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, like, again, this is not the only one. Here's these girls. This is even a Hispanic girl.
Is anybody here either an immigrant or a child of immigrants?
So my parents are immigrants.
Where are they from?
We're Palestinian.
And it was you?
Mexico.
Mexico? If the United States went to war with Mexico, which country do you side with, starting with you?
Mexico.
Isn't it crazy that America allows people to be citizens of the country, but if it came to a war, they would quicker side with a country they're not citizens of? That's crazy.
I pick Mexico and Palestine every time.
Scumbags.
This is what you're importing, Democrats. People who don't give two craps about America. Not two craps. And then you wonder why we're having such a problem with, like, unity here and there. Because, like, remember, diversity is our strength. Like, diversity is not a strength. Unity is a strength.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like, you're correct as in the fact that it doesn't matter what skin color you are, but if you're not moving in the same direction, which is pro-America, you are actively hurting this country.
Again, 9/11 was a uniting force for basically the entire country. We're all united in the fact that, we need to go do something about these terrorists over there in the Middle East. Like, that's when America is strong. Mm-hmm. Now, we might have, again, you can argue now that's like we directed our anger at the wrong people or the wrong area. We should have just focused on threats of terror from within.
And I'll even tag on to that is, like, that guy would have been better off fighting and dying in Iraq or Afghanistan than he did coming here and shooting one of our soldiers. I mean, the people that we were allied with. Again, with allies like this, who needs enemies with allies like this, dude? This is so stupid. Again,
just because you're allied doesn't mean you're our friend. And another thing, too, even if we vet them properly, vetting immigrants and refugees is no guarantee of integration. Period. Like, again, we don't want to end up with a bunch of ghettos where it's a bunch of people from different countries that are self-segregate themselves off so they don't have to interact with the rest of society. You don't want that.
Yep.
Again, this would be like if you open it. This would be like if, like, my girlfriend opened up a nail salon, but was like, we only want to serve Vietnamese people in this nail salon. We don't want any Americans. We only want Vietnamese people. Mm-hmm. It's like you cut off half of, like, basically 90% of your income.
Yep, 90, probably more than that. Probably like 95 with Vietnam. Yeah. But next one I have pulled up here is one that you sent me again, and this is talking about, like, why are they not integrating properly? Why this guy probably can't get a higher level job is because of inbreeding.
Yep.
Like, they all marry their cousins. They all marry relatives. It's insane. And check this out. Check how they justify this. Oop. Forgot to hit the sound. Hang on one second. There we go.
Tell me, how did you face me? She was my cousin. She's your cousin?
She was.
She was?
No, she's my wife.
Strap yourself in for this. 70% of all Pakistanis are inbred. And in Turkey, the amount is between 25 to 30%. More stillbirths among immigrants. A rough estimate reveals that close to half of everybody living in the Arab world is inbred. A large percentage of the parents said, this is blowing my mind. So listen to the BBC investigation in Britain several years ago revealed that at least 55% of the Pakistani community in Britain was married to a first cousin. Holy BBC's research also discovered that while British Pakistanis account for just 3.4% of all births in Britain, they accounted for 30% of all British children with recessive disorders and a higher rate of infant mortality. What in the Labor Party MP has called for a ban on first cousin marriage. Medical evidence shows that one of the negative consequences of inbreeding is a 100% increase in the risk of stillbirths. Wow. Look at what it says here, that with the IQ points. It says findings on intelligence. Research shows that if one's parents are cousins, intelligence goes down 10 to 16 IQ points. The risk of having an IQ lower than 70, criterion for being, in quotes, are they using that
retarded,
word? Increases 400% among children from cousin marriages. Let me say that again. The risk of having an IQ lower than 70 increases 400% amongst children from cousin marriages. Jesus Christ.
And why don't we know this? Because people don't like the truth.
Islamophobia. They don't like being called Islamophobic by even discussing it. Like, we're going to be called Islamophobic for even bringing this up.
Information has to come out.
You boom.
Tell me, how did you first meet?
Boom.
She was my cousin. She's your cousin?
There you go.
She was.
No,
she's my wife.
I know. I just wanted to show that because I didn't have the volume all the way up just yet.
Gotcha.
So
again, guys, this is, people will call us racist. People will call us Islamophobic for pointing this out. It's like, you wonder why these people live in the third world. It's because they're all functionally retarded. I mean, they don't. You cannot have a functioning society with people this dumb. This is why places in the Middle East and why there are places in sub-Saharan Africa where they're still the third world, because they don't have the capability of bringing themselves out of the third world.
Yeah. So here they are again. Here's their names. Sarah Beckstorm is the one who has passed away. Andrew Wolf is still fighting for his life right now. But this is, insane. Insane that we've allowed this.
Just so you people here in Owasso and Oklahoma will be aware, Oklahoma National Guard is going to replace these guys next. It will be your sons and daughters here from this state that will be defending D.C. And like I said, now you have to worry about this crap.
Yep. Next one I have here pulled up, this is just a meme, says, you must refuse to take illegal orders, which is what, they've been constantly saying, and the left is constantly saying, and now look at this, is like take the vaccine that I didn't want or need. No, not that order.
Again, yeah, it's double standards, man. Double standards. The left didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards.
Yeah. Just like, and remember, it's like they defend the worst things. You import these groups of people and they defend the worst things. Like, here it is. Iraq passes law lowering the legal age of marriages for girls from 18 to 9, following in the prophet's words.
Yep. And again, this is, they will argue against it, like, we don't believe, and now they're stretching it to be like, oh no, Aisha was 19 when the prophet. It's like, there's no evidence of that, and all the evidence points to the opposite in the Quranic text. But again, they'll just say, unless you can read it in Arabic, you can never truly understand, because God has a language.
Mm-hmm.
God has a language. Don't forget the fact that allegedly the Torah and the Gospels are a part of the Quran, but all of a sudden, whenever God talked to Muhammad, it's like, oh, by the way, the language is what is the language they speak? It's what's the language of the Quran?
Arabic. Yeah.
So it's like Arabic is the language of the Quran, which was the final revelation. So if you don't speak Arabic, you can't actually truly understand God's word.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. So stupid. Which this brings up this right here of Lisa Stoken admits that President Trump hasn't given any illegal orders. Pure political theater at its finest. So let's check this out.
We put that statement out is because the sheer number of, frankly, young officers who are coming to us and saying, I just am not sure. What do I do? I'm in Southcom and I'm involved in the National Guard. I'm just not sure. What do I do? And I think, look, you don't have to take my word for it. We've had report after report of legal officer, JAG officers coming forward and saying, look, I push back on this. I'm not sure that this is legal. There is such things as illegal orders. That's why it's in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Going back to Nuremberg, right? And it's a totally benign statement. And if the president...
Just have to point out, always go back to Hitler. Always have to go back to Hitler and the Nazis. Going back to Nuremberg.
is concerned about it, then he should stay deeply within the law. But I think it's important to know it's not hypothetical, right? This president in the last administration, his last administration, asked his Secretary of Defense and his chairman of the Joint Chiefs to, quote, shoot at their legs at unarmed protesters in front of the White House that he wanted moved.
Actually, I know you're talking about Mark Esper's book. He didn't exactly say that. He said the president suggested that, but they were never ordered to do that.
And he got out of the Oval Office quickly so that he wasn't told to actually do it. And I give him a lot of credit for that.
She's just making crap up now.
Right now, do you believe President Trump has issued any illegal orders?
To my knowledge, I am not aware of things that are illegal, but certainly there are some legal gymnastics that are going on with these Caribbean strikes and
Just
everything
political
related
theater.
to Venezuela. So I think the reason...
No, there was nothing that he's done. He's not given out any illegal orders. And these Democrats, there's even like a barricade. There's even like a billboard that says, went airborne, but are, forced to like patrol D.C., is this really what you signed up for? Telling people to, like, there's a website that you can go to like try to issue grievances. And that's the thing, just like, and then Democrats will go, they're just informing soldiers of their rights. He's like, yeah, but when the rights are active, when you're trying to inform soldiers of their rights, but you make a website and then you can have the soldiers sign up and air grievances, what are you doing? You're actively opening the door for soldiers to be insubordinate.
Yeah.
What is an illegal order? An illegal order is an order that actively breaks the law, or is something that that
also,
you wouldn't.
Number two, this is all irrelevant. Yeah. From a soldier's perspective, this DC deployment would be the greatest deployment of all time. You're in America, in a first world country, in a allegedly nice city in America. Dude, soldiers would kill to go on this thing. I know guys in Oklahoma that are like, I want to go to DC. But they're not allowed to because they haven't met height and weight standards or so. They're super stringent on who they're letting go. If you don't meet the height, weight standards, you didn't max out your ACFT or AFT now, they're not going to let you go. They only want the best. They want the cream of the crop going to go patrol the streets of DC. They don't want Oklahoma to look bad. They want everyone to be like, "Whoa, those Oklahoma National Guards, they're some high speed dudes. They're professional looking. They're all in shape. They're all ready to go."
And this is, I just had this pulled up before we had the little glitch happen real quick. But Governor Patrick Morrisey is with great sorrow that we can confirm that both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today in Washington, D.C. have passed away from their injuries.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
God rest their souls.
Oh, my goodness. These brave West Virginians lost their lives in service to their country. We are ongoing contact with federal officials as the investigation continues. Our entire state grieves with their families and loved ones, and the Guard community, West Virginia, will never forget their service or their sacrifice, and we will demand full accountability for this horrific act.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing's going to come of this. What are they going to do? Prosecute Biden for this policies? Who do we go after here? You know what I mean? What full accountability? How do we get full accountability from bad presidential policies of the past? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, both of you. Thank you for your service, and I'm sorry that this is what happened.
Yeah, it's literally what I feel like is going on is as always it's Republicans come in to clean up the mess the Democrats make all the time.
Yep.
And the Democrats purposely make a mess, and they purposely make messes. Like I said, Democrats accidentally make messes when they're just in office and when they think that they're going to win the next election. But when they don't think that they're going to win the next election, they start
intentionally
purposely
ruining stuff. There you go. We have to destroy this place as quick as we can.
Exactly.
So it'll be impossible. Again, it'll be impossible for someone like Trump to be able to fix all the problems we created. So whenever we get back into office, we can be like, we can claim we fixed everything.
Yeah. Then here it is, that joke that Norm Macdonald makes coming to full fruition right here. That because my friend's biggest fear is that one of these days a Muslim terrorist is going to get in and do a dirty bomb, and then is going to blow up, and kill millions of people in the United States. And then the backlash and Islamophobia that comes from it, that, all the poor Muslims are going to receive, is going to be the worst thing in the world. And just that's a joke because who really suffered there?
Yep.
And like I said, this is what's actually going on right now. Check this out.
News right now, the alleged shooter of the 2 National Guardsmen has been identified as a 29-year-old Afghan national, according to NBC News. Now, here's the thing. This has sparked so much Islamophobia on the internet, especially among right-wingers on places like Twitter. In addition, it has also sparked a lot of hate being spread.
Maybe it's not hate, Aaron. Maybe people are tired of being murdered by foreigners. It's not hate. It's not Islamophobia. What's his name? Where's he from? He's from the Middle East, right? He was allowed in the United States by the Biden administration, and his benefits expired in September, making him an illegal immigrant. They were still in the United States. Maybe it's not hate. Maybe it's not Islamophobia. Maybe Americans are tired of being murdered by foreigners. That's it. There's nothing more to it. It's funny how you have American women, American children, American law enforcement officers being literally murdered in American streets by foreigners, and you people don't even give a flying fuck about it. But the moment somebody criticizes it, all of a sudden it's hateful. All of a sudden it's Islamophobia. All of a sudden it's racism. And we need the thought police and we need the speech police. How dare Americans be sick and tired of being murdered in their own country by people that don't belong here?
We have some news right now.
Again, this is the most ridiculous statement you could ever make. Again, Muslims bomb and kill Americans, Muslims most affected. How pathetic is that statement? How stupid is that statement? Muslims kill and wage jihad against infidels, Muslims most affected by hatred and bigotry. I wonder why. Again, this is why Islamophobia is the most dumb statement ever created. Like, Islamophobic. That you can't be like, Islam has done plenty of things in the world, in history, to make people afraid of it, and it not be a phobia. A phobia is an irrational fear. There's nothing irrational about being afraid of Islam and the things that Muslims do. So yeah, it's just pathetic. But I think that's really kind of about
I just
all
had a
we've
couple
got.
of funny holiday memes. Here we have Trump and Vance handing out the Thanksgiving turkey, but instead of a turkey, it's American election results.
Yeah, it's the American election map. Yep.
Love it. Next one that I have is J.D. Vance feeding the troops at Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
You good? Okay, thank you, man. Appreciate you. Anything here? Anson, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to you. Anything else here? We got this guy loaded up here. They're very active soldiers, right? Ernst, how you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving.
So that's how you know the difference between presidents is how the soldiers or the troops react to seeing them. Is like when you saw. I mean, I forget. I wish I'd pulled that video up now. Like when George W. Bush walked in to an event with soldiers, they went crazy.
Yeah.
When he would walk in the room, Barack Obama would walk in, and it was just.
Yeah, it was forced clapping. You know, Hillary Clinton walked in, they'd be doing those things with their fingers crossed, saying that they were under duress. It's like, I'm doing this because I'm being ordered to, not because I want to.
Yeah, and all these other ones, when a Republican president walks in, like they go absolutely nuts. So I love it. Like I said, just like that's the thing. Is like who really holds the pulse of society? Is it the liberal presidents or is it the conservative presidents? And I think if you look at how troops respond to these people, you're going to see who really holds the pulse of society.
Absolutely.
But I think that's pretty much all we've got. I'll start wrapping it up, though.
Yeah, so again, toxic empathy is going to be the downfall of our society. You know, we have become doormats for the world, and we've been taught this doormat Christianity. And it's not good. You know, we got to stand up for ourselves. We cannot solve the world's problems. We can barely solve the problem. Again, the left is like, the American dream is dead. It's like, okay, so let's just keep importing as many people here as possible to make sure the American dream dies for as many people as possible. It's like, why don't we fix all the problems internally and let the American dream come back and make it to where houses are affordable again? The American dream is within reach. All you have to do is work hard for it. But no, they're just importing as many people as possible, giving them benefits. And again, why'd this guy do this? His benefits ran out. So now he's going to get deported. It's like, yeah, he had a real fear of being deported because, yeah, his benefits ran out and he wasn't becoming a productive member of society. So we cannot solve the whole world's problems when we can barely solve the problems from within. Let's solve the problems here, and then we can focus on stuff going on abroad.
Truth.
So we got bigger issues. You know, we've got issues.
We got issues. We'll be right back.
And again, because of what happened, 2 of our brothers and sisters in arms lost their lives. It's sad. All because we want to be the most welcoming and tolerant society in existence. And again, it's not helping anybody.
And again, the people that supposedly helped us overseas
are
the ones that are killing us. So this is why people keep saying Islam is not compatible with the West.
Yeah.
It's not compatible with the United States. Because even when they're on our side and they come over here, we give them a new life, they're still not happy. There's nothing you can do to make these people happy.
Yep.
I mean, as we've seen from the immigrant thing that we just showed just a minute ago with the kids in Dearborn and those 2 girls on the whatever podcast, they would get the people out of this country to say if they would rather side with their home nation than America in a war, get them out of this country.
Mm-hmm.
Get them out. What are you doing here? If you would not side with America in any conflict, why are you here? You are here to subvert
and
destroy. To subvert and destroy the true intention of what America is about. That's what you are. You are here to divide us, not unite us.
Yep. So again, our hearts go out to the 2 who lost their lives. Rest in peace. God bless you, and thank you for your service. And our thoughts and prayers are with you and your families. But yeah, it's just a tragic day, and again, it's all due to horrible government policies that are getting our own troops killed. It's sad, and again, the Democrats go, this is somehow our fault. We did this, you know. The American dream's fault did this, you know, and that's so bass-backwards in thinking, you know.
100%.
So that's about all I've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This is the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that's all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.
Becomes a crime when applied to evil. Not every virtue stays a virtue when you stretch it too far. Modern society worships tolerance like it's sacred. But tolerance without discernment isn't kindness. It's moral decay. If you tolerate lies, they grow. If you tolerate cruelty, it spreads. If you tolerate corruption, it becomes the new normal. This is how entire civilizations rot from the inside, not through violent takeover, but through quiet permission. Even Guts knew, you don't negotiate with darkness. You confront it. You draw the line. You defend what is worth protecting. Standing for nothing isn't neutrality. It's surrender. Tolerance becomes a crime when applied to evil.